Hey, I'm Brian from BMA This is your weekly video where we take a look at the new comics coming out next and every new comic book day. And today we're going to take a look at the new comics for Wednesday, January 15th. Marvel is full of number ones this week. Let's start with two of the Marvel's The End stories coming out. Steve Rogers fights for survival in a post-apocalyptic wasteland populated by hordes of Red Skulls. Venom travels the length of space and time as the last defender of life of the universe. Jessica Jones is a private investigator, and her life is going pretty good, until a woman whose case she fumbled winds up dead in her office floor, turning Jessica from private investigator to prime suspect. Can she find the real killer and clear her name? The Root Rebellion has begun and robots fight for their rights. The rise of artificial intelligence is here. Fenris, the beloved character from Dragon Age 2, makes his comic debut in this canonical continuation of BioWare's dark fantasy epic. Their mission? Save the human race from itself. Who are they? A mixed team of humans and aliens who will risk their lives to save us from ourselves. Two titanic tales of Earth's Sorcerer Supreme pulled from Marvel's Vault of Heroes. First, when a mysterious menace is eating holes in reality, Doctor Strange teams up with Spider-Man. Then, a trip to the art museum puts Wong and Strange against a fire-breathing squirrel. Chiyoko of the Koi clan leads a group of powerful warriors, the best each clan has to offer, on a mission to save Japan from a dangerous dragon and monster. But perhaps the greatest threat she faces is not the many monsters who ravage the country, but her own team. In 1969, two American astronauts become the first humans to set foot on the Earth's moon. But they find something inhumane waiting for them. Get ready for the upcoming Black Widow movie with this prequel comic. This is a reprinting of some important Ravencroft and Carnage issues. The history of Ravencroft runs deep. It's not just Carnage, both heroes and villains have been affected by its secrets. Another entry into the Gameverse. There is a gang war in New York City and Spider-Man is right in the middle of it, along with Hammerhead and Magia. Then, out of nowhere, Black Cat makes an appearance. What is she up to? Hup is a podling cook who dreams of being a Padawan. When a chivalrous bard Barnabas comes in Hup's village with tales of former glory, Hup leaves his small town to follow him. The Justice League Odyssey just found Cyborg, but now that he's under Darkseid's control, will they be able to save him, or is it too late for Cyborg? The Teen Titans have a lot of issues right now. Is Damian going to leave them to help the other? Can they ever forgive Roundhouse's betrayal? And what about Dejan? It seems this is going to be Captain Cold's last fight with the Flash, and it'll take his sister's help for the Flash to stop him. As we approach the birth of Aquaman and Mira's child, we take a break to take a look at one of their earlier adventures in the trenches. Rick Grayson is still piecing together his life, but now that he's learned the lies Talon told him, what is the next direction Grayson will take? How can there be 5 different Jimmys? Seems like Jimmy's going to need help keeping himself together. Superboy brings Damian Wayne to the future to meet new Legionnaires. What happened here are seeds to be picked up later throughout the DC universe, including Gotham, the first man-made planet. The final showdown between the forces of freedom and the axis of oppression crashes to a cataclysmic conclusion to this maxi series. Will a fully powered Uncle Sam be enough to stop Cyborg Overman? Who is the hunted god? This is what Lucifer must discover after prophecy dictates he must save this mysterious prey from a deadly fate in the Wild Hunt, a mythic quest led by one of the most dangerous entities in existence, Odin himself. Vic Sage died and woke up in the past. Now, the question is chasing down a mystery in the Old West that could lead to his death 200 years in the future. Yang reminisces about an adventure with Blake during their time at Beacon Academy. This is the penultimate issue in the miniseries, and Wally West has found out that in order to save the multiverse, he may have to make too big of a sacrifice. Why did a blackmailer become a murderer? How does the Batman survive an opponent who can kill him with his own mind? Prince Keldor's pursuit of anti-He-Man leads him and the He-Man of alternate worlds to Eternia conquered by Skeletor. After losing their memories, Elle and Octavia have different ideas for what's next. Elle wants to find out what happened, while Octavia just wants to move on. The battle rages on as Captain Marvel goes toe-to-toe with Firelord. Ghost Rider races the Silver Surfer and Brood Thor tries to eat the Avengers, all while Black Widow's in space, destroying people with the War Machine armor. Valkyrie teams up with Marvel's mightiest medics to save the life of the ultimate patient, Death herself. With a universal force on the cosmic operating table, the end of everything is one slip of the scalpel away. But has one of Jane's surgical team forgotten their Hippocratic oath? The Runaways have embraced Doc Justice and are now members of the J-Team. And they are doing well now that they have direction. Well, except Gert, who is back at Doc's mansion. But she's up to something too. Cosmic Ghost Rider has picked up a rogue Earth hitchhiker along the way. Will Cammie's presence become Rider's own form of penance, or will her thirst for vengeance just add fuel to the flames? There are two reprints that I want to highlight this week. Incredible Hulk number 180 facsimile edition. This is the first true appearance of Wolverine. And here we have Batgirl's first comic appearance. As Reaper and She-Spawn fight for their lives against the Hellhounds, Spawn is forced into the public spotlight in order to stop a strange new villain that's rampaging through New York City. Deadeye's secret identity gets a little less secret as the Mafia situation comes to a head and he finds a brutal new enemy in Boston's finest. Just when the jailbreak seems to be going according to plan, everyone finds themselves in a worse predicament than ever. Warning, this comic is for mature readers due to sexual situations and plot. The colorful climax of Mindy's Indian journey sees her battle to save the street kids and Hydras from Beggarman's clutches. She must wipe out his gang and free his victims before it's too late. Gamma Ray finds herself at odds with her family in this climactic conclusion to the first story arc. The werewolves are back. A group of would-be hunters set out to enlist Lucy's help, but they soon realize that she's a shadow of her former self and may not be up to the task. Looks like this is going to be picked up for a movie, so if it being written by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule wasn't enough, that could be a reason to pick this up. Where in it, the rescue of one of the team members lies in the knowledge of Ace Kenyatta, PhD. Trini and Zack meet the one person who can make them Omega Rangers, but are warned about the consequences of joining Jason. Girls are separated, each trying to find their own way forward. With their absence, Old Hob fills the power vacuum with the help of some very unusual New Mutant. Amidst the anti-Autobot, anti-Decepticon, and anti-Rise actions, can Orion Pax, Chromia, and a Decepticon finally link the deaths of Brainstorm and Rubble to a larger conspiracy? With nowhere left to run but into the Predator's ship, every turn leaves Maria and Taylor deeper into danger. This is the conclusion to the miniseries that leads up to the CBS All Access Star Trek Picard. The Hellmouth event is nearing the end. The penultimate issue of Hellmouth is here. Learn more about the heroes and villains of the Rise of Skywalker. In this issue, the spotlight falls on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and his unstoppable First Order army. The one condition of Daphne's residency at the Rykoff Manor: no one can find out about the ghosts. So far, Daphne's crushing it. Only like 4 people have found out. As the specter of World War II haunts Harrow County, specters of a more literal sort begin to invade. In this thrilling conclusion, Billy and Maggie confront their deepest fears and marauding mermen. The aftermath will leave both women changed forever, for better or worse. Skulldigger, well-meaning hero or violent murderer? We'll have to find out. It's a little late, but we get 3 holiday special Hellboy stories for the price of 1. As the student body turns on Pedro, Napoleon Dynamite must turn a foe into an ally to save his friend. With the memories of those they've lost fresh on their minds, Team Scorpio has finally made it to the Hive. When war threatens the Moonshire Isles, legendary heroes return to defeat the forces of an unthinkable foe. In the shadows of Hundra's mountain, something even darker is revealed as the death of a friend sends Helene into a rage. The final clue to the scavenger hunt leads Elsa and Anna to a familiar location. As long-lost cherished memories resurface, the chance to connect with their mother one last time is closer than ever. As Ariel and Eric's relationship begins to blossom on land, the Sea Witch Ursula's journey and spite are unleashed. The battle for true love begins, but at what price? We get 4 new US DuckTales stories: The Golden Domino, The Uncertain Service, Holiday Snapshots, and lastly one where Fethry enlists Donald's help with a very mysterious package for Ludwig von Drake. What disaster doth await when the Bugle Boys hatcheth yet another plan to soweth chaos and discord in Uncle Scrooge's world? The women of Glow are preparing for an all-new sort of foe, a news anchor. As they learn the art of promo and convincing the media that Glow isn't a bad influence on children, they discover a much bigger problem: a runaway who's been living under the ring. As if a supernatural murder mystery wasn't enough trouble, Arthur Wellesley must also deal with a talking crow, a magical crane, and an otherworldly monster roaming the countryside. There you have it, a look at the new comics coming out next week's New Comic Book Day. Subscribe for weekly looks at the comic book releases for New Comic Book Day. And let me know in the comments which books you're looking forward to. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, Brian out.